let's listen to what the attorneys for the Oath Keepers leader has to say about his 18-year sentence. It is bound to be funny.
We want to take you now back to Washington, where moments ago, attorneys for the Oath Keepers leader Stuart Rhodes, after he was sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in January 6th. Let's watch.
He put a lot of thought in this for a long time. He sat through 3 of these trials. He's got 20-plus Oath Keepers to sentence, and he's got to do it comparatively. There's a provision in the code that says that's why I asked the prosecutor yesterday, why are you asking for 25, and what are you going to do with these other guys? So I think he genuinely cares about doing it correctly, and I just think he put a lot of effort into it.
Did you think that was a just sentence?
I can't answer that. I mean, we have differences of opinion on some of the evidence. Of course, I wanted less. The prosecutor...
Well, yeah, obviously you wanted less time. You're defending him. You're going to want to try to get him less time.
wanted more, but based on Judge Mehta's belief of what the facts show and his recitation of that yesterday and today, I believe that was lower than what I thought Mehta would do.
It was lower than you thought?
Today.
Yeah.
After today, I thought it would be higher.
Do you think you did the best job you could do as a lawyer for Stuart Rhodes?
I do.
I think we worked our asses off.
Yeah, for a year and a half.
We've given a year and a half of our life to this. I think as a lawyer representing and advocating for a client, you always look back and you're second guessing yourself. You always see things you could do differently. I genuinely don't think we could have in any way worked any harder than we did. This upended our lives. Not that that's what that's about. It's not.
Wait, having to be the state's lawyer upended your life? Like, how? That's hilarious. But there's like nothing these people could have done to like change anything, because all the evidence against Rhodes would just proves that he's guilty. There's like no evidence that you could show to prove that he's innocent.
But this took a toll on everybody. And in terms of what you asked about the sentencing, we're clearly Stuart's advocates. And I, like Philip had just detailed, as I was listening to Judge Mehta speak, and then take that extra step to say that at no point during his career in sentencing has he...
I don't know. If I was a lawyer, I don't think I would want to be associated with defending people of January 6th, because then that would get you the reputation that you're a Nazi and willing to defend people looking to attack the government. And that's not a reputation you really want as a lawyer.
He ever had the opportunity to look at a pending defendant and say, I consider you a future danger to the future of the country. And when I heard that, not unlike Philip just stated, I anticipated much higher than an 18-year sentence. Not that I agree with the sentence, but I anticipated much more based on the way that he was leading up to it.
Correct.
Yeah, this guy should have gotten like life in prison instead of an 18-year sentence. Again, these people were really lucky that they got such light sentences for their crimes. If these people were, people on the left or black people, they would be getting, life in prison for trying to take down the government.
The judge had much to say about the future of our democracy and your client's role in sort of threat to that. Can you speak to that? Can you also tell us, how Rhodes is feeling when you talk to him since the sentence is down?
I think the judge is speaking to the fact that Rhodes continually gets on the radio, continually speaks about these things. I mean, just recently as 4 days ago. And I think the judge is referencing those things. Rhodes is not going to be quiet. Rhodes has an opinion. He's going to get it out there. There's a lot of people that believe his opinions are correct. The judge does not.
And we've never tried to silence Stuart at all.
Wait, what about the First Amendment? Doesn't Stuart have the right to the First Amendment freedom of speech?
This is way too...
Clearly that'll be part of appellate issues.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely. And we've never tried to silence
What do you think, Ed? Speak up, Ed.
Well, I think that this case was all about the weaponization of speech by the Department of Justice. And I think that essentially they have used Stuart Rhodes' words against him. It was not what his actions were, but it was his words. I mean,
No, it was both his actions and his words.
Mr. Bright and Mr. Linder and I all argued that he never went into the Capitol, he never assaulted anyone, he never destroyed any property. We argued all those matters during the trial and post-trial. And clearly, the words of Stuart Rhodes is what the judge returned to time and time again, what he had said over a long period of time. And just as Mr. Linder said, had he been in Austin, Texas on January 6th and not in Washington, D.C., would he have been indicted and prosecuted? No, because it was his words. And so the fact of the matter is that we think that ultimately this is going to be about free speech. We think that we have a
But it's not.
good appeal coming on this. We look forward to the appeal, the appellate process, and we stand firmly behind Stuart Rhodes. We don't think he's a threat to society. We don't think that at all. And absolutely, he has a right to free speech, and none of us have ever tried to tell Stuart what to do, and he's been able to speak freely all during this time.
I bet they're worried that he would kill them if they said anything against him.
Well, he is a political prisoner, okay? Look, he is a graduate of Yale Law School. He wrote a paper that won a prize at Yale about civil rights and enemy combatants. I mean.
So we've been listening to attorneys for Oath Keepers leader Stuart Rhodes.